Yeah. One damn thing after another, as it said. I also noticed that man, I can't stay, idle. I have to do something. Otherwise, I mean, it's really difficult. Here, I mean, I'm in the middle of nowhere. No neighbors. It's like a monastery. Yeah? It's just my dogs and me. So I had to keep myself busy. All that during that time, I learned how to play the piano, the keyboard. Learned how to play this. Learned how to play all these different musical instruments, the drums. I had the same exact type of drum, that got burnt. And my cousin gifted this to me. He's a drummer too, so he gifted this to me. And this is my brother-in-law gifted this to me. So I'm surrounded by good people, caring people. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm not complaining. The house used to be over there. Where is it? Yeah, it's over here. That was the house. Now it's empty. Yeah, I love this place, I'm not gonna leave this place. For some reason, it looks like the LA County. I mean, how else I can think differently? They are doing this intentionally. They just don't want me to stay here, me or the others. They just want us to all go and live in the cities. Oh, one of my dogs, too often. Archuk, my beautiful friends. How nice. Yeah. Oh, by the way, once I started making jewelry, I named it ZangiArt. So that's my logo. Where is it? Yeah. So I named it ZangiArt in honor of my, dog, my friend. Yeah. Since I'm introducing myself, I might as well. Oh, to also taught myself how to play the guitar, the flutes, yeah, the flutes too. A lot of things, all these flutes. This I made this. This is Japanese shakuhachi. It's called shakuhachi. Japanese monks play this. This looks like a made from bamboo, yeah, but it's not. It's a PVC pipe. It's a PVC pipe. I made it look like a bamboo. It's a nice instrument. Very mysterious and Now I made that with PVC pipe, and this is the real thing. This one is an antique one, It's like made from bamboo root, and this is a shakuhachi. Yeah, this is what kind of keeps me going. Art. I don't require much, Just a roof over my head, little bit food since I since I eat only once, only once a day, and that's good, I think. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Yeah, I called this music sad. You know, it was a couple of days ago. I was feeling really down because I was making a video. Yeah, see, when the fire started, everyone had to evacuate. The order came to evacuate the area, leave, because this fire is coming down. So since I couldn't move my dogs, there are three big wolfhounds, Armenian Gompers. They're not used to car. Won't go near a car. They can't get in there. So no matter how much I tried with my friend, couldn't put them in a car. They would jump out from the other side. Anyways, and I said, okay, maybe nothing will happen. They'll put out the fire. I'll stay with them as long as I can. So I stayed. I watched the fire come down from the mountain, the one that they're just showing, from the very top all the way down. I watched it, witnessed it, and I have filmed everything. And I was waiting, for a single plane to put a fire retardant, to separate the mountain from the area where the houses are. Just a single retardant. Had they put that, my home wouldn't have been destroyed, Anyway, so yeah, I filmed everything. So the other day I was putting it together, making a movie, too. I want to expose these people, what they're doing. Because that's the only way I see, that I can do something. So I know I'm doing something. I can't just sit there, for another 5 years of waiting for permit. Heartless people, man. Anyway, so yeah, I was making that movie, and again, I had to watch the whole thing. So after making it, I was so kind of feeling down. So I sat in front of the keyboard and played a little bit, just hitting the keys in meditative mood. And this is what I'm listening now. Is that just sounds, and I named it Sad. Yeah. See, I was sitting at home and oh, this is Zangi. And I love this guy. These are my friends, my loyal friends, They're my protectors, my friends. That's a Alabai, Central Asian dog. I love that guy. So nice. Yeah, I was sitting at home and at night I was watching until fire came all the way from the tops of the mountains. From there came down to this one, from there came down. And, for some reason the neighbor's house didn't get fire. It's right there, my neighbor's house. And because they never trimmed their yard, it caught fire, and I would always trim my yard, remove dry brush and everything. But I guess it was my turn, I don't know. Because of that, the fire came down from the yard and destroyed my home. Man. But the area is such that, it's kind of I'm always here in peace, it's so peaceful, quiet. It's just me. So that was one neighbor, and there is another neighbor all the way down here. That's it. The rest is just, high desert. Yeah, I mean, a few times my friends came over, yeah. They stayed a couple of hours and they say, Ed, I'm getting anxiety, I need to go home. I was like, why? Just stay, man. Have some patience, it's just silence. But they can't, because I don't blame them, man. All that noise, all the thoughts. People constantly have to distract themselves, yeah, by music, by TV, anything, YouTube, I don't know, scrolling. As long as, they are not present with their mind, with their thoughts. And while they're doing that, all that stuff, distractions, their mind is going boom, 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 all the thoughts. So it's being covered up. But as soon as they get to somewhere where there are no TVs, no distractions, just nature and silence, there is no way to escape. So everything comes to them like by inertia, the frontal lobe and all these thoughts, their issues, worries, they cannot escape from it anymore. No distraction. So that's what happens, they they get this anxiety, all that stuff. So they have to leave. They can't stay. Sometimes I hear how people during the COVID, since they had to stay at home, they couldn't take it. They offed themselves. Yeah, I mean, so I was reading that. I was like, man, is it that difficult, to be in silence by yourself? I guess it is. So I go like, yeah, man, give yourself some credit. I mean, I say this because I know how it feels, And there was a time when I was a mess. I was a real mess. And I don't know how, I don't remember how that happened, but I ended up in a Big Sur. There's a monastery there, on top of the, Santa Lucia Mountains. Those are Italian monks. They have a monastery there, Camaldoli Hermitage. So I stayed there. I booked 3 days. So they gave me a cabin. It's a silent retreat. You just don't talk, you have to be silent. Beautiful area. Imagine above the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful. Big Sur, I mean, what can you say? Everything is beautiful there. So, I was there like for 4 or 5 hours. I go like, why am I here, So all my thoughts are killing me. All this broken record in my head, like. So I go to the bookstore, which is a little place there. There are always, some monk sitting there, yeah, minding the store. So I go there. His name is Brother Zachary. Nice people, elderly monk. I go like, man, I can't stay, I want to go home. He says, I know, but don't do it, You need to stay. You need to have some patience. You are in a safe place, We are here. It's God's, nature. It's God's home. Don't worry. It's everything is good. Just go and try to enjoy the surroundings. Don't pay attention to your thoughts too much, for now. So I go back, and somehow I spend the night. Next day I wake up. So I wake up, it's all good. An hour later, again, I'm getting all these thoughts. I mean, the questioning, why am I here? Again, I go there, and again, this time there was another monk. So again, he convinces me, because they know what's going on. They go like, Eddie, just go back, my friend. Trust us on this, yeah? I beg you. I go like, okay. So, I talk a little bit, so now I'm feeling a little better. I go back, and that day, night comes, I sleep. So now is the day 3. So this this, I mean, data a little bit okay. So I stay there, and it's around like a 6 p.m. I have to go home next day. It was 3-day retreat. I booked that cabin for 3 days. And I don't know, it's about like 3, 4 p.m., I go like, man, what? I need to go. I don't know what's happening, why am I here? The whole world is moving forward and I'm stuck here. I need to be doing something. What am I doing? And anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So again, I go there and he says, go back. You've been patient for 3 days. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. Whatever you do, don't go home. I go like, okay. So I come there, and during the 3rd day that I stay, tomorrow I have to go home. That night there is an earthquake. As if, that all those fears, weren't enough. Cabin starts shaking, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and the cabins are kind of far from each other. So I go like, oh my God, what is this? There's a big earthquake. There is no signal, I can't call home, so I'm stuck. Anyways, so I fall asleep. It's morning, around 6 a.m. I wake up, I go to that little patio there. Man, I stand there and all of a sudden, I want to cry, man. I'm like, what is this? What is this? Where am I? It's silence. I don't have anything. First time in my life, I felt peace, real peace, peace within. First time in my life. That was the day, the end of the 3rd day. First time ever I experienced what peace is, within and without. Oh my God, I was crying, man. I was so emotional. Like, what is this? It's like I'm saved or something, I don't have any thoughts. I don't have all that stupid stuff, It's like, this is beautiful, look. And I'm looking at the ocean, the shimmering ocean. So in the distance, it's like 2 miles up. Can you imagine? Anyways, so I'm so happy. I'm filled with joy. No worries, no nothing, The things that I was worried about are nothing. I mean, they non-exist. They're just little things. I'm not saying this, but that's the state I was, yeah? So I go there and, I'm hugging the monk, He says, bro, what are you doing? I go like, man, thank you so much, My friend, brother, thank you so much. I'm so thankful that you didn't let me go home. What is this? He says, yep, that's what it is. I go like, I don't want to go home. Can I stay one more time? One more day. He says, stay as long as you want, Edmund. So it was like that place, So I stayed another day. That was the beginning of the rest of the story, I was like, I would go there like twice a month, silent retreat. I would stay 7 days. Can you imagine? I was addicted to that place. I would go there in the silence, and the food was exceptional. It's all vegetarian from their garden, and it was so delicious, that food. As if you are eating both meat, bread, everything, but it's all vegetarian. It was so good. Anyways, so I would go there, stay, enjoy, yeah. Until one day I was there and I go like, why are you here, man? I mean, it's done, This place did its job. So say thank you and go home. Because now I'm here to just for a place to stay and to do photography. Come on, don't ruin the good things. I'm not. It's just you don't need this place anymore. It did what it needed to do for you, and you got what you needed. So now, you just come here because there's a place to sleep and there's good food. Leave it to someone else who needs it. So that's it. That was the last time I went there. After that, it was what, month ago, 2 months ago, after all those years, like what, 15 years, even maybe more, my daughters decided to take me out to Big Sur, So we went there. It was beautiful, we went to the monastery, I was so emotional, man. I went inside the bookstore and I saw this monk and I was telling my story and I was like emotional, it was so nice. Everything came back to me, all that benediction, all that peace, all that beauty, all that grace, Yeah, that's. I remember one day, I went there and I don't remember which monk, but I think again it was Brother Zachary, or Isaiah. Yeah, I know it was Isaiah. He had a good voice. They sing there. It's a beautiful. They are monks, Kamaldoli. I think, anyways, beautiful. Gregorian monks? No, they are Benedictine. Yeah. Anyway, so I go there. I go like, Brother Isaiah, I want to become a monk. I don't know why, but I want to become a monk, I tell him. He looks at me and says, Eddie, how long you been coming here, my friend? I mean, it would be probably what, 5, 6 years? It's so easy to be a monk here. If you really want to be monk, your challenge is to go home. Be a monk when you talk to children. Be a monk when you drive to work. Be a monk when you talk to your friends, when you're doing some activity, when you are shopping, when you are fighting. I don't care. Whatever you do, be a monk. Now, that's a challenge if you want to be a monk, So you're going to accept that challenge. So, okay, let me know how it goes. Now, that's being a monk. Here it's easy. It's all silence and no one is bothering you. and that's what I did, I didn't even have to try. Yeah. Life is good. Good things are happening, if you if you have the intention to be good, if you have the intention to be better, to do better, to look inside, to ask why am I feeling this way? Why is things are happening? Why do I have these problems? What is my purpose? I mean, why can't I just enjoy what is? Why do I always feel like I need something more? Why I always feel like, if I have this, then it'll be good. And then I go like, no, if I have this other thing, then I'll be better. That's it. It's never ending. So once you start, looking at it, then you see your fears, because everything is a result of a fear, So anyways, I don't want to, read a sermon here, but yeah, those are the things that you need to start kind of paying attention to, being mindful, looking at your thoughts, not trying to avoid them. There is no running away from it, but actually looking at it, accepting what is, not always asking why me. Sometimes you need to say, why not, man? Why not? I mean, all these things have been happening to me. But I mean, certainly there are millions of others that are going through 100 times worse things. So I have to always remember that, and not to complain and moan and cry, It's like, it doesn't cheapen my kind of, so to say, suffering. It doesn't cheapen it. It's just, it makes it worth it. I deserve the suffering. It doesn't weaken me. It doesn't make me to pity myself. Yeah, self-pity, which is the most dangerous things. It's so dangerous, that self-pity. And at the same time, I realize, I'm aware that there are others that are, have worse than I have. That's when I always say, hey, thanks. I should be grateful, for what I have. Never forget the things that I have instead of what I don't have. But anyways, so that's the story of that. Yeah. The whole thing that started, and then, oh man, this is a whole different story, the NDE, near-death experience. I was stuck in a place, I had nowhere else to go. Nothing else, I had nowhere else to go. I was stuck, I was in a cage, right here, in prison. So one night, I put the pillow over my head and, first time ever, I've always been looking down at religion, yeah? Like, come on, man, religion. And at the same time, I never had spirituality. It's just I was looking at all those things as weakness. But the first time I said, Jesus, help me. I don't even know why I said that, because as I said, I said maybe it'll help. So I fell asleep and all my fears realized that in a dream, I guess, yeah. I was always afraid that someone is gonna put a gun against my head and shoot. I don't know, irrational fear, yeah. That's what happened in a dream, I guess. In a stark area, it's like I'm in some type of downtown. Everything is like stark, white, like noontime light, harsh shadows, hot. It's all concrete jungle, and I'm walking and someone comes and puts a gun against my head, and at that moment, I am filled with all the fears in the world in my head. The worst fears ever, come to me. It's like a dread. It's like the primal fear, yeah? I can't name it. It's the most terrible. All these fears come, and then boom, he shoots me and the lights are off. Dark. And immediately, I see I'm flying or something, and there is someone else there, comes, below me, flies with me. It's a female. All I know is it's some type of female, whatever it is. And I'm going, and there is this pinpoint of light. And, as you know, usually that's what other NDE, experiencers go through. So as I go, this light, gets bigger and bigger and shinier and more beautiful and more beautiful and more, I can't wait to get there. And as soon as I get into that light, it's the most beautiful, it's the most joyous. It's not pleasant, it's joyful. Pleasure is different from joy, Pleasure always has a pain, but joy doesn't have opposite. Anyways, so it's this joy. I don't know if there is anything else is possible as that joy, more joyous, more peaceful, loving that light. I'm there. Now, I'm trying it so good from joy, and there is this light, the same light, comes to me with the back of his hand. I don't know, to me that's like that was my grandfather. I don't know why, but I always think it was my grandfather, whom I love so much. He's my hero. As a little guy, I always, next to him, listening to his stories. And I was his favorite grandson. Anyways, as if it's my grandfather, and he says, go back. And I'm crying. I'm saying, no, I want to stay here. Please, please, please. I want to stay here. He says, no, go back. And this sentence, by the way, my grandfather didn't speak a single word of English. And this sentence, he says this: continue the way you have been. You have your place. Exact words. In English. Continue the way you have been. You have your place. That's it. Those are the words. The most beautiful sentence I've ever heard. So I come back, yeah. I open my eyes and I'm looking at the kids, my wife next to me, and to me they're just nothing. There's just, I can't name them. I always say it's the same as I'm looking at some cardboard or something. I don't know. But no significance. Nothing, it's not even separate from me. I just look at them and no feelings, no nothing, no naming. And it takes like maybe 4 seconds. And then I start, coming back to what human is, I guess. By the way, I realized that state is the true presence, where you just are. You don't name, you don't label anything, you're just there. But anyways, that's a whole different story. So I opened my eyes, and since my fear of death is gone, I have no fear. And it's not because I'm thinking there is something else after I die. No, that's not it. It's just I have no fears. All the fears, phobias, rational, irrational, are gone. Yeah? And then, most importantly, those words told me that I'm perfect the way I am. With everything I have, all the negative things, all the positive, the way I am is perfect. You cannot be any more perfect. Continue the way you've been. You have your place. So that's what I did. I continued the way I was. However, now, now I did things, I said things that weren't separate from who I was. But those things would never bring me problems. Yeah? I would say something, because that's what I say. I would do the same things. So in other words, I started to change the moment I stopped trying to change. Because before that, my problems that I was having, along with the other things, one of those is trying to fit in. I'm trying to be somebody for this group, somebody else for that person, something else. So, I'm trying to be things that they want me to be, other people. Yeah, everything except what I am, who I am. I guess that's what happened, and I was trying to change me, change myself. Not to do this, not to do that. Learn not to speak with your hands. That's people say that's not good. Learn not to do this, not to yell that. Blah 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 blah. That would bring misery to me. Nothing but misery, because that's self-loathing, that's self-hate, that's lack of confidence, that's lack of self-knowing. I don't know who I am, what I am. So, that's the worst thing. So that's it. Things started to change without an effort. I wouldn't even try to change something. It would just automatically not be, manifested, or I wouldn't say things, I wouldn't do things that before I would. And I didn't use any effort, automatically. One day I realized that, wow, man, right now I am the person that cannot be anything else and doesn't need to be anything else or anyone else. This is who I am, what I am. Now, that's the whole thing. I don't want to say I don't care what others think. It comes across a little bit harsh. But yeah, I don't care what others think, That's not not important for me. Yeah, not anymore, for a long time. And that gave me my self back to me. All the torments stopped, Now I was happy with myself, who I was, the way I was, confident, fear-free, no fear. Not it's not that I'm reckless. Although sometimes I think I am reckless. I go like, bro, you are being reckless here. Taking your little car and going, 60 miles an hour in 30-mile zone on Angeles Crest. Isn't that a little reckless, man? I know, but don't push it. But no, it's just, things like that sometimes happen. I go like, you have some fear, man. I go like, no, I'm not, I don't fear. In fact, last year, I lost my drone in some abyss, on the Angeles Crest. It's a really deep canyon. It fell there. So I went to retrieve it. Long story short, the teenager that I am, I decided with my, little nephew to not go from where we came down and go up, but go up from where I found my drone, which is a landslide. It's a landslide, for God's sake, and it's like 1,000 feet. So he says, hey, uncle, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I go like, yeah, you want to go up here? He says, yeah, let's do it. So, like idiot I am, I do it. I go up. Now we are in the middle, and every stone I touch comes off. It's actually sand, it's not stone. And now I'm at a point where going down is kind of at the same risk as going up. That's what I thought, at least. Because I'm looking at this, I go like, that's not that steep, I can go up there and then tie a rope, and he will come after me and we'll go on the road out on top. Yeah, right. So at one point, I jump and, hold on to the stone. By the time this other hand, tries to hold on, this one breaks, and I realize it's not stone, it's sand. It's a solid sand, Long story short, I'm stuck there. I'm looking down and I have the video, it's the craziest thing. I'm holding on barely. I mean, this hand, it comes off. So what I do is like I start digging kind of a hole there or ditch or whatever, so I can hold on to it. The deeper, the better, I'm thinking, so, it won't break off. So I do that with this hand, and the left hand is a little rock. I'm holding on with that, with my fingers. And my right leg is, little, on that cliff side, there's a little, what you call it, whatever, but it's a sand too. So I'm, my toes are there, not the whole feet. My toes are holding on there. So somehow I'm balancing, I'm stuck there. Yeah, it's a ledge, but it's a sand. I know anytime it can go. And then I look down and I say, man, if I fall, I really hope I die. Because if I survive, definitely I'm gonna be, paralyzed. That's 100%. So I hope when I fall, I'll die. That's what I'm thinking. Man, and then my poor nephew, guy standing there, he cannot go down, he cannot come up. He says, uncle, what should I do? What should I do? I go like, hey, Alex, call 911. He says, there is no signal. I go like, okay, man. And then I'm thinking, all right, there is that satellite link. So somehow, I am like moving like this, my body, and I'm pulling out my phone, and I am trying to, turn it off and press that satellite or whatever, emergency. And I do that. And I do that while I'm almost falling. Yeah, it's going. I can see the sand is, starting to deteriorate. I mean, I try so many times. Finally, it's a text. Okay, what is the emergency? I go like, well, I'm stuck here. Says, where? I go like, I don't know, man. That's the whole point. It's a satellite. Do you know? What are you wearing? Where? I go like, I turn it off. Because I cannot. I'm falling, man. I go like, if just the whole point is to know where I am, Stupid. Anyways, now I'm not blaming them, man. It's my stupidity. Anyway, so I turn it off and then I go, no, man, wait a minute. I turn it back on. And I start recording a goodbye to my family. Because now I know I'm at peace with that idea that I'm gonna go. Because now I look down, it's like this, the damn thing, I have the video, I'll upload it, so you guys can see it. So I say my goodbyes, I say, hey, I had a good life. And it's the next day of my birthday. So the day before was my 56th birthday, I go like, okay, hey guys, this is the situation. Most likely, I'm gonna be gone. So do this, do that, thank God, I haven't done anything to others, so I'm not worried if once I'm gone, they'll harm my family, so it's good. I don't have any regrets. So I'm at peace. I don't have any regrets. I was like, wow. And at that moment, I look, and then the whole, the rock there has this shiny stuff on it, and it's pink. I go like, wow, man, what a beautiful color. That's what I'm thinking. I go like, bro, you're dying, man. You're looking at beautiful color. So at that moment, it reminded me of this, Zen story. Yeah, the lion is after him. He jumps and he holds onto the tree, and then he sees a strawberry and he eats it. While he's about to die. Anyway, so I say the goodbyes. I'm at peace. I love you guys. If this happens, hey man, I'm at peace. You are in good hands. Just blah 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 blah. So, and then I turn back my head and I see my poor nephew looking at me with this helpless expression. I was like, you stupid guy, how can you just give up, man? Imagine if you fall, his whole life, he will be traumatized. You'll die in front of his eyes, and you know how much he loves you, man, and relies on you, and has all these, high opinions of you. How can you let that happen, man? So I go like, I'm not gonna, just get stuck helplessly and then fall and die. While I'm saying that, I go like, hey, Alex, I'm coming down, man. He says, yeah, uncle, let's do it. So I turn around because I looked at down there was another ledge. So I go like, okay, you just jump and put your, what you call it? Your foot in that ledge and it'll stop yourself, at least from that immediate fall. So I turn around and I just jump, just like that. I go like, man, it's better if I take it in my own hands and at least try something than just sit here like a sitting duck and die, So that's what I did. I just turned around and jumped. And sure enough, I got to that ledge and that stopped me a little bit. But I didn't stop because I can hear that the rocks are coming down. And then I go like, let's go, Alex. He goes, yeah, uncle, give me 5. Let's go, blow this place. I go like, okay, so I'm cussing out. Yeah, you thought you could keep me here, you motherfucker, anyways, I'm all psyched up, and I'm just running, I'm about to fall, but who cares? I'm just running. So both of us and run, and jump in that little creek. And the rocks are coming down. I'm saying it was a rock slide. It's right past, there is a bridge, Monkey Bridge it's called. It's right past that. Anyways, so, man, I jump in the water. I hug my nephew and then I go like, bro, life is good. All of a sudden I go like, the water, cool. It was a hot day. Man, life is so good. I love life. This is so good, It was so beautiful. So yeah, that's that story. So the moral of the story is I was convinced I was gonna die for sure. Not maybe or maybe not, because I was about to fall. And I realized that I have no regrets. So that kind of it was a test for what I think I know or I have. So that was kind of good. Kind of a validation that, hey man, yeah, that's maybe you're on the right track. I don't know. Yeah, it was good. So that's another story there. Was interesting. There is a saying, I forgot. It's hold on, let me remember. Yeah, it's a Soren Kierkegaard. Says, daring is to momentarily lose one's footing. Not daring is to lose yourself. So yeah, I mean that was right, applies to that situation. To dare is to momentarily lose your footing. Not to dare is to lose yourself. So during that little span of time, two things that I kind of liked, happened. First is that Zen story that the guy, jumps, the tiger or lion is after him, and then he grabs on a bush, strawberry bush, and then there are two mice that are chewing on that branch, and then at that time he sees this little strawberry, which is, symbolizes life, and he just eats it and he says, oh, it's how sweet, so in the midst of all that stuff, he appreciates life and how sweet it is and takes his time to enjoy the color of the strawberry and the sweetness. So yeah, that's what I remember when I was looking at the rock and saying, oh, how nice color, this rock has. Okay, so that's the story, guys. I started with something, I ended up with something else. That's what it is, You'll never know where you'll end up because it's not the destination, it's just going in a moment wherever it takes you. Yeah, because I started with some complaints, that's not healthy. But sometimes I have just to let it out. I have to rant, a little bit. Maybe that's a coping mechanism, some type of survival mechanism, even if no one hears you, even if you're just talking to yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Anyways, I don't have anyone to talk to. I have to talk to myself. Oh, this one is from the fires too. That's obsidian. And then that's a melted glass that I just found, I found in the debris. Kind of looks like a sitting Buddha, doesn't it? Sitting Buddha on obsidian. Those are two separate pieces, by the way, So yeah, I like that. Okay. I'll go take care of some stuff, feed my dogs, and take a little drive. Just that's it. Take care. Bye.